G'day folks, and welcome back to the channel for update number 2 of my Grim Dawn Community League Season 7 journey. Today starts out same as yesterday with 0 characters, but we've done a fresh reinstall, so hopefully things will be working a little bit better. I did make a test character, and it does appear that the character is now being created and saved correctly. So it's on like Donkey Kong. Let's get going. I've decided I'm actually going to make a Blitz soldier, and I'm kind of torn between if I want to do a Warlord or a Deathknight. I'm leaning towards Deathknight because I have other builds at level 100 that I want to do with the Deathknight. So I'm probably going to end up making this a Blitz Deathknight playthrough. But let's go ahead and create Elizabeta again, and we'll just kind of see what drops. So someone created a thread on the Reddit yesterday after seeing the update number 1, and let me just bring it up here. Basically, they were asking, farming character versus next character. It was by the user Vadi. Basically said that he or she heard me say in the previous video that I want to get my first character to 100 so that I can use it to farm for other characters. And then was just wondering, if your first character is good enough to farm, why do you even want a second character? And so the answer there is, well, firstly, there's a lot of different characters, there's a lot of different gear, and maybe I want to just play something different. But the actual thing that I wanted to point out here is that some skills work really well with just green MIs. So for example, Blitz is pretty good, Force Wave is pretty good, and Blade Arc and Cadence kind of aren't, for leveling at least. But then when you get to level 100 and you start looking at some of the purple items and the sets, suddenly Blade Arc and Cadence are a lot better. But you have to get there first. And also, if you are playing a, let's say, a Warlord or whatever, and you want to play a Cadence setup, well, what if the gear doesn't drop for Cadence? What if you get the entire Altar set or the Beast Caller set or something like that? If you have a full set, you might be better off using the leg up from your first character who's got writs, who's got warrants, who's got merits, who's got XP potions, all that sort of stuff lined up. Maybe you've got the Lokar set. You've got that ready to go. It's going to take you, let's say, 6 to 10 hours to create an entirely new character and get to level 100. Whereas it could take you 20, 30 hours to farm just the purple set for the character you're on now. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. One character for leveling. Use a strong leveling skill, something that hits hard, has a lot of AoE, and is good for clearing. And then when you get to max level, kind of just see what drops, see what you want to play. Maybe you get the Alto set, but you just played Primal Strike, and so you just don't want to play that anymore. It's just a matter of what drops and what you want to play. So that's what I was talking about there. And I'm going to go and get into this character, and I will see you, hopefully, with this character when I get to Warden Krieg. So I'll see you in a bit. Alrighty, welcome to Krieg's house. Now, I am going to show the entire fight with Krieg, but before we get in there, let's just have a quick look at the character. Please ignore the mess in my inventory, although I do have the poo pants, so that could be a fun build, maybe later. Right, so we are a level 19 Deathknight, although to be fair, we are basically just a soldier. I used pets until I got to, I think it was around level 10, maybe 11 or 12. Then I swapped over to Blitz. Now, one thing I will say about Blitz is without the MIs, it's just straight up horrible. It is bad. I do not recommend it. You want to go with Force Wave until you have the MIs. Milton's Cask is not enough. I haven't got the Warden's Fortress yet, but once I do have that, we'll have another look at it. Until after Krieg, at least, do not go Blitz. It is just, it's bad. It is really, really bad. It'll be fine for killing Warden Krieg because it's just single target. But until you get Blindside, this gives you an additional 5 targets. But until then, your Blitz only hits 3 targets. And it has quite a long cooldown. I think it's 5 seconds base. What do we got here? No, it's not that long. You get a short reduction to the skill recharge from Milton's Cask. But yeah, it's really, really bad without the MIs. So hopefully it gets better. I will continue playing it, but this room here took me several minutes to clear out. We are up to an hour and a half for Act 1. And the more sort of meta leveling builds, you're looking at 30 minutes, maybe 35. I have done Act 1 Veteran in 30 minutes flat with a pet build. I have done it in about 37 minutes, I think, with Force Wave. I have done it in 35-ish with Blackwater Cocktail. Blitz, at low levels at least, is not very good. So that's my, I guess, assessment of sub-level 20 Blitz. It's bad, don't do it. Do Force Wave instead. Or if you absolutely must do Blitz, just be aware it's going to take a while, or play on normal. Right, with my little rant out of the way, this is the skill points I've got. Decent number of points in Blitz here. +3 from the Shambles Hut, I think? Nope. There we go, it's on Milton's Cask. So +3 from Milton's Cask, 10 hard points in here, just enough to get Blindside, and 1 point in a whole bunch of stuff. Now, I had to put extra points in Menhir's Will here, because in between blitzes, this character does nothing for damage. You are a default attacker in between blitzes, and so I was taking a lot of damage because I couldn't kill things fast enough. So if I was making this character again, I would play Force Wave. Until probably at least until Krieg, but most likely even up till about Homestead when you get the last of the MIs, or another MI. Early on at least, Blitz, yeah, it's not great. So, let's go kill Krieg, and hopefully there'll be some little trash here, and I can show you, with all the skill points, how it works. Come on, get out of the ground. There we go. So, it's not enough to kill the Fury. Most of this other stuff should die pretty quickly, but you can see in between, there's not a lot going on. So you definitely need a lot of defense. I would have been dead by now without Menhir's Will, because even with this, I'm still chugging potions like it's, you know, water's going out of fashion or whatever. I'm kind of expecting that I should be able to just stand in Krieg's face here and blow him up. So I'm not really expecting this to be too difficult. But yeah, I cannot recommend Blitz, at least so far. I'm fairly confident. In fact, I'll just straight out say it right now. It will get better. But for now, for low levels, yeah, it's not a great starting skill, for sure. Anyhow, Warden Krieg first form. Yeah, again, damage is not amazing, although, having said that, I haven't had a weapon upgrade for a while. And my shield is also not great. So here's Krieg, first form, any day now. I really should just swap back to Force Wave. I say back, I actually haven't used Force Wave on this character. But I should swap to Force Wave. It would speed this up a lot. Also, I collected a ton of pet items just because they happen to drop, so if this character dies, we're making a pet ritualist. I have, I think, +8 to raise skeletons at level 5, and it's just going to make it really, really easy. Alternatively, I can play pets for a little bit and then swap to Vitality Primal Strike, which also sounds pretty decent. Krieg here taking way too long to die. That's it. I've run out of waffling to do. Potions on cooldown. There's many as well. I do have a potion available again now, so I can heal myself probably after this stomp. There we go. Yeah, you definitely need a couple extra points in Menhir as well, or even just a few items with some regen. I don't think I have much in the way of regen here. What do we got to? 22, yeah. So 1 or 2 items of mending or of renewal or whatever would definitely help. Also, we're just going to ignore the fact that I nearly died there. I guess the long and the short of this is I do not recommend Blitz as a starting skill. Warden's Judgment of Caged Souls. Okay, so I just straight up go to +11 raised skeletons at level 16 when this guy eventually dies. Stonehider Fortitude is not horrible. 13% physical resistance is pretty good. +2 to Blitz and Blindside, and another ½ second off of the cooldown there. This is going to make it better. Whether it's going to be actually good now, I'm kind of leaning towards no, but we'll see how it goes. Right, so that's going to be the end of this little clip, and I'll see you at the next one. Alrighty, welcome back. We are now in Cronley's hideout here. This is going to be the Cronley fight, and just go over the build real quick. The only blue I've managed to find that's worth using is the Razorback's Spined Mantle, and honestly I should probably replace that fairly soon. There's a little bit more armor on these shoulders, for example. I could definitely swap those in. Also, still using a level 1 belt, so getting something with a little bit more armor here would be very useful. I crafted some components, mostly for resistances, and I've got the 1 scaled armor here, or a scaled hide here. We've got double severed claws on the shield and on the weapon. That'll do for the gear. For skill points, I'm heading up the soldier bar here. I want to get at least 1 point in Scars of Battle. A couple more there would probably not be the worst idea. And then I think probably Oleron's Rage and a few points in Warcry. Maybe Break Morale. Break Morale is really good for physical builds. It means you don't have to get, for example, Raise the Dead over here or Scales of Volkama. It's the, I think it's the type C. I forget what they call it in the document, but basically it's this type of resistance reduction, and it doesn't stack. So if you get points in Break Morale here, it can save you a devotion, like an entire constellation that you don't need to put points into. And this, I believe, is the largest source in the game if you max it out. It gets up to around 40 reduced targets physical resistance. So if you're playing a physical build with Soldier, this can save you some devotion points, and it's also pretty sure the largest source in the game. So that's the plan there. After that, I'll probably go and get Spectral Wrath here. This has physical resistance shredding on it, which is kind of important. Probably not going to get Ill Omen, because the damage reduction will be coming from Warcry. And then, I guess Mark of Torment's the only other thing I'm really interested in until level 100. And of course, 50 points in the bar. For devotions, at the moment, I've got the Jackal, I've got the Eel, and I'm getting the Panther. I probably should go and get the Sailor's Guide just for the movement speed here. 10% is pretty big. I currently have... I'm pretty close to the cap, actually, so never mind. Never mind on the Sailor's Guide. Okay, I have picked up the Mana Infusion here. I lied to the Rovers. I'm a terrible person. I also extorted Isaiah Redden by accident because I clicked the wrong button, so rip, I guess. I think that's the second time in a row I've screwed up that quest. Anyway, that's kind of where I am. Blitz still kind of feels not great. The damage is definitely better with 21 points in it, but it's still not what I would call good. It's definitely not up to the levels of a... How do I want to say this? It's not up to the levels of a proper, in air quotes, you can't see it, but I've got the air quotes going there. It's not up to the level of a proper leveling skill. So we're talking Force Wave here, we're talking Primal Strike, we're talking Raised Skeletons, what else are we talking? I'm struggling to think of another one here, but those are the big ones anyway. Primal Strike, really good area of effect, decent single target. Same with Force Wave, really good area of effect, decent single target. That's generally what you're looking for. And Blitz is, at least so far, it's not there. Will it get there? I don't know. I'm going to play as Blitz until I don't know, probably until this character either dies or gets to 100. And we'll see how it goes. But so far, not at all impressed. Okay, so when you come in here the first time, Cronley wants to talk so you can safely kill his crystals. Maybe with the reduced cooldown on this, it'll be better. Right, anyway, let's go ahead and kill him. Now, he's put his little shield up there, which is incredibly annoying because you can't really hurt him. I think it's 95% or 90%, something like that. It's really big damage reduction anyway. So, not being an Arcanist and not having the Purge constellation, it's kind of hard to hurt him. Aether res is up at 70%, which is pretty good. I've used my potion there, and I do kind of want to trigger Menhir's will for healing. Although having said that, I think he might just die before I need it. Maybe not, actually. There we go, he's got a shield up, and there's Menhir's will. So I'm pretty much just gonna die if I continue standing there. I'm just gonna kill him. There we go. I don't know why there was such a long delay there. So Cronley has dropped me a... it's actually not very good ring, so I'll pick that up. And unlike my normal run-throughs, I'm actually going to remember this section. I definitely want that Aether Crystal. Okay. So whenever you get an amulet with Of the Grove, it's worth considering using it. This one has no resistances, so I'm almost certainly not going to use it. But that heal proc there, when hit, especially on a soldier or a high armor class, that is really, really good. And it'll scale with you all the way. So if you... hang on, let me get my... keep some of the crystal for me. Let me get my Aether Cluster. I do want that on here. And I also want it in that specific spot in my inventory, because OCD or something. Yeah, if you get your hands on an amulet or something with the Of the Grove suffix, you definitely want to consider it, especially if you're playing a melee character, because that heal will be going off constantly, and because it's a percentage, if you get more hit points, then the heal gets bigger. So it's good all the way up to max level. Higher level versions do give you, I think, a higher percentage on the heal, but it's going from, was that 4 or 5% on this one? 7%. Okay, so I lied. Max level version is also 7%. You'll get a larger flat number there, I think. Oh, someone just died. Level 7. Who cares? For some reason we're saying F to every death and not just the ones that are, you know, you've been playing for more than 10 minutes. Anyway, this is going to be Twin Falls, and I think this is where I'm going to stop for today. I've been going for 3 hours now. Jeez, it's been... This character has been quite slow to get going. But yeah, I've been playing for almost 3 hours now, and I think it's time to end this particular video. So, some good progress made. Only level 25 here, but it's better than having your characters eaten like I had yesterday. So, yeah, gonna end it here. So thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and goodbye for now.